Well, hello there, Australians, and all of the English speaking world. Tis I, Mike Martins, and let's talk about the Australian elections and what went down. A lot of people are calling this election the Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump election of Australia. Now let's look at some articles and see what was on the table. And it's very kind of similar to what America was kind of preaching in the 2016. I gotta count my fingers here. Yeah, 2016 election. Let's take a look. People, here it is. And you see the Labour Party, and obviously fell short here. Close run, though. Decently close run. Respect to others got 6. Lots of respect to the people that run for this stuff. I mean, mind you, they're always getting new people in office every couple of months in Australia. But Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison claims historic win after Labour loses an unlosable election. So what happened was that Labour was going around basically stating that they're going to win this election. Because most of the real world understands that nobody trusts the whole Liberal government or the whole Liberal movement anymore. Here in Canada, they are losing at the pollsters, which he was losing at the pollsters. So there was a turnaround. How? Why? People got off their butts and went out to vote. Now, Liberal parties now in Europe are not gaining any ground. They're all losing. Like in Italy and other countries like Spain, you're going to start seeing a huge movement and demographic shift in conservativeness kind of like dominating most of the European countries, because Europe is mostly a conservative country, right? Continents. So what's happening, guys? There's lots happening right now, and it's very, 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 scary to see the Liberals take control of Australia yet once again. And with housing affordability, mass exoduses of people leaving major cities, capital outflows from China at 0, it's become a major issue. And I honestly thought, in my thought of thoughts, in my heart of hearts, that the Labour Party was going to win this election, hands down. And man, was I ever wrong. So let's continue here. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison holds on to power in miracle victory for Conservatives. And I'm going to tell you why I think, in my opinion, why this party won. So, guys, these are center-right Liberals that won. And complete shock. Australia's Prime Minister holds on to power, defying election predictions. So the pollsters were going around getting votes and stuff and asking people what they thought and who was going to win and what they expected. So here's the problem with Bill Shorten. When this came out on the New York Times, Bill Shorten wants Australia to embrace China, but at what cost? That right there was his nail in his coffin. Right now, China in the world, they're communists. They're seen as, not the Chinese individual as per se. I'm talking about the regime, the Communist Party, and what they have plans for. Why do they want to embrace China? Why would you send a message to your people? That's the scary part. That is very scary to see when a politician that In recent online discussion, Bill Shorten, the frontrunner in the race to Australia's next Prime Minister, left little doubt about where he stood on politically delicate issue relations with China and where the world's other superpower fits into his calculus. So that right there is a nail in the coffin, especially where things are headed, especially with Darwin, Australia heading into Big Brother territory now, unrolling the whole barometric visual system and tracking people on social report cards. That's a very scary thing to do, and especially to say something like that. That's pretty bold. And let's move on. And another thing. Shorten declares climate emergency as top priority, and a lot of people out there know where they feel with climate change. A lot of people, and I'm not talking experts, people understand the sun has its own movements, the sun has its own orbits, the sun has its own spots and flare ups depending on what cycle it's in. And unfortunately, throwing money at the sun isn't going to fix climate change. It was started as global warming. They pulled the wool over our eyes, and then now they're calling it climate change. And yeah, unfortunately, the sad part of it is if you focused on housing, I think if the Labor Party specifically focused only on housing and not climate change and putting climate as top priority for labor, I think that crippled the labor movement. People don't want to hear about things they can't fix. People don't want to have their leaders strategize against something that's not fixable. Throwing money at the sun and its orbits and trying to get the sun to cooperate with the earth isn't going to happen. The sun has its own problem like we do have on earth. But on earth, at least we could fix our, or we could try to fix our political problems. I know there's a lot of sad Australians out there and I feel for them. I want to know what you people think out in the comments below. I'm in Canada. I'm doing my best to cover some of this stuff and give my points of views on what I think. I just kind of wish there was more transparency in this whole government thing. I really wish. I wish there was just more that they could offer their people, especially with the amount of responsibility these governments hold over our lives. It's phenomenal how much power they've taken and how much we've given to them to hold for us. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Australia doomed? Did you vote Labour? Did you vote Conservative? What is going to happen with Australia? Very concerning to see this happen. I thought there was going to be a change. I thought we were going to see a bit of a movement. But then after I saw these articles here by the Labour Party, it makes me rethink where we're headed as a human race or species. Or let's fix things here on Earth before we try to fix something that we have no real scientific proof of what's happening until we could find out what really is the cause of the problem. I think it's all in the sun. Let me know. Comment below.